Okay, I've gotten quite an abundance of hate mail in the past several days, or a week or two, because of my talking about the savagery of these gun nuts, these amosexuals, these people who feel it's okay to take their assault rifles and go to a grocery store or a department store or a fast food joint. That is an open display of, first of all, cowardice, but secondly, it's an open display of how afraid a person is in his own environment. I mean, that's pretty unusual and it's pretty sick, but it's spreading across the country. Now, let me make it clear, as I have many times, I have no problem with gun ownership. I own firearms and I damn sure know how to use them. The problem I have are with these amosexuals who feel that they have to display their big, long guns in order to make a point. And I think the point they're making is to themselves. They're trying to convince themselves that they're going to be okay, even if they're consider themselves on some deep level as totally useless, which I think they do, hence the gun. So I talked about that for a couple of nights, different programs, and I'll continue to talk about it because I think these people are sick and they need to be healed somehow. But the way they're going, I don't see that happening. So here's some of the email I got. This is from Dabby G. He or she writes, "Hey Mike, think I'm going to call animal control to come get you since you are a mangy cur posing as a human. What a shithead you are." Here's one from David L. "Hey Mike, just read the story about you wanting to yell gun gun and see if you can get someone killed. Just a warning, Mike, you may be the first Marxist to catch a round from a hand cannon." See what I mean? "As an armed citizen, I would laugh my nuts off." See what I mean? "To see you bleeding in the street. I can only hope that thugs break into your home and strangle you to death." No, that won't happen. "Yes, it's true. I hate those who hate the Bill of Rights. Your story has awakened me." Right. "You should pack your shit and move to another country if you hate this one, rather than stay where you might be shot in the back of the head during coffee. Just saying, man." I mean, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You talk about gun safety, you talk about telling these half-wits, these thumbsuckers, to take their massive, what do you call it, hand cannons, and go play with them, you know, at a shooting gallery or a gun range, but to take them into a Taco Mac. I mean, what is that bullshit? Well, that's exactly what it is. Here's one from Kelly B. "So, Mikey, you want to report a law-abiding citizen for legally carrying a weapon in hopes that law enforcement arrives and kills the law-abiding citizen during the confrontation that you created. You call them the wackos? I would certainly hope you could be tried and found guilty for 1, false report of shots fired, 2, liable for any injuries from the confusion you created, 3, you are tried and found guilty of premeditated murder if the law-abiding citizen is wrongfully killed due to your false report. After all, you did premeditate the false report, you did plan your actions and admitted them on live radio. You need help. Maybe you should crawl back under your rock and stay there." Oh, Jesus. What he's referring to, if you're a regular listener to the program, you know what he's talking about. I had said here in Georgia now, where it's guns everywhere, if I am ever, and I mean this, if I am ever in a department store or any kind of a public place where there are men, women, and children, and I see a couple of these redneck yahoos walking in with semi-automatic assault weapons, I'm going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to hit the deck and start screaming as loud as I can, "Gun, gun, gun, guns. These guys have guns," which will freak out, I would imagine, other people in the store, and hopefully they'll hit the deck. Then I'm going to dial 911. And when I get the operator, she's going to say, what's the address? This is what they do here in Georgia. "What's the address of your emergency?" And I'll say, and I'll tell where I'm at. And then I'm going to say, and I will say this, I might have heard gunshots, because I might have at that point. So this is what the guy's talking about. Let's move on. This is from Steve B. I thought we did one from Steve B. No, all right. I heard your comments about how you would try to murder an individual who is legally carrying a rifle open in public by calling the police and saying shots are fired. You are a sick fuck. I would think an educated individual like yourself would realize that even though you disagree with what they're doing, it is legal and it is their right. Do you understand what freedom is? I do, Stevie B. The First Amendment entitles you to say what you did. The Second Amendment entitles these other individuals to carry their weapons. I guess you want only what suits your needs. There are sacrifices and compromises that come with freedom. I feel that individuals who walk around with an AR-15 on their shoulder are irresponsible gun owners who are exercising their Second Amendment rights. Just as ignorant individuals like you are broadcasting irresponsible ideas while exercising your First Amendment rights. Let's see if you have a pair big enough to respond or read this on your broadcast. There again with the scrotum references. Don't you guys ever get your head out of other people's dicks? I mean, ever? Do you ever get your head, your hand, your mind out of somebody else's genitals? But the point he's making is ridiculous on its face. You know, you talk about First Amendment rights. Sure, there's a right to free speech and a right of free association and so on and so forth. But there are restrictions on the First Amendment. I do not have a right to falsely scream fire in a crowded theater. Just like these gun nuts do not have the right to carry massive weapons of destruction into a place where they don't belong, just because they can. Now, somebody will say, well, what's the difference between falsely crying fire in a crowded theater and falsely crying or telling the police that you may have heard gunshots? There's a big difference. If I deliberately and consciously falsely cry fire in a crowded theater, I'm inciting a riot. If I'm prone in a department store and I've just seen people with semi-automatic weapons, and this is the United States of America in the year 2014 where a mass killing goes on about every other day, I have not only a right but an obligation. If the 911 operator says, well, you've seen all these guns, there are shots being fired, it's okay for me to say, I don't know. Because at that point, I am on the ground. I'm on the deck. If I've got my 9-year-old with her, I'm covering her up. If there's a little kid nearby, I may have snatched him and offering him protection. So you gun fucks who want to compare Second Amendment to First Amendment can kiss my ass. There is no comparison whatsoever, and you damn well know it. Here's one from Mora Gal. Mora Gal. Would that be a woman? I'm more a gal than you are? I don't know. Dude, you are scum. Why would a law-abiding gun owner get in trouble because a lunatic liberal like you hates guns? See, there they go again. You stupid fucks, I don't hate guns. I don't care one way or the other about them. I'm a gun owner. I just don't like you exhibitionists walking around with your pants down and your gun hanging out. Moragal goes on, you, in the possession you are, should know that this kind of comments are both unnecessary and stupid. Who knows when you are on the public place how many people are carrying a gun and nobody notices? That's kind of my point, you half-wit. If I don't notice, if somebody's... there's many times when I've been out in public that I have a firearm with me, but I don't stand it up like an erect penis so people will go, ooh, look at his weapon. Anyway. I think you are a scum. You're as worthless as they come. I would be very happy to see you off the air. You are low and worthless. You're repeating yourself, sweetie. I don't see what your function on society could possibly be. Check the laws and tell me, why can't a person carry? Worthless, waste of skin, and R-U-R. You know, I have no idea. If somebody can't put a fucking sentence together, how can I trust them to make sure that their weapon is either unloaded or chambered properly or the safety's on, when they can't even put a sentence together? See what I'm saying? This is from CL. I read your latest method for getting lawful open carriers killed intentionally. That is a terrific procedure, and when I see you in public, I will call 911 and perform your procedure flawlessly on you. What a total douchebag you are. Hey, dumbass CL, I don't walk around with an AR-15 with my fly open. That's what you boys do. Back to his email. But then again, a progressive prick like you needs to be trained, and getting a taste of your own medicine is appropriate. Can't wait to yell, gun, 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 the next time I see your ugly mug. Fuck off. I'll tell you what, CL, let's join forces. You see, we can both yell gun, gun, gun the next time we see assholes walking around inside a Target store with semi-automatic rifle. I'm all for it, CL. We're on the same team. Not. This is from RJ. I think it's a shame that you're the sperm that won. Ooh, oh, I've just been lashed. I mean, really, dude, you'd stand a better chance of winning a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather than winning that shootout, dumbass. What shootout? See what I mean? You talk for a living. Real contribution to society there. Do the world a favor. Go swim to the middle of Lake Allatoona and tread water with concrete weights on your ankles. You're a fucking idiot. So's your mama. This is from Fred Match, M-A-T-S-C-H. He writes, as long as you believe in shooting someone and you approve of carrying guns, I invite you to come to my house and try and shoot me. You are a coward, both physically and morally. You have to get someone else to fulfill your fantasies because you don't have the balls. If you want to take me up on this, you can reply and I can send you my address. Please take me up on this, Mr. All Talk and No Balls. It's all about the balls, isn't it, Fred? Yeah. This is from Demo Rat 131313. Please, 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 please come to Nashville, Tennessee, and we'll buy you dinner as I open carry my sidearm. I would love to get your pussy ass, here we go again, in front of me while you fake a call to 9/11 and after I own your pathetic life. I know you do this stuff for ratings because your 10 callers are getting low, but you are one pathetic human being. Pussy ass? Really? Tell Mike he's a moron. His suggestion that he would shoot board members of the NRA or go out and provoke a situation with police over someone legally carrying a weapon opens not only himself but those that broadcast his nonsense over the airwaves. Well, let me just comment on that. I never, ever, ever said I'm threatening to shoot a board member, NRA board member. What I said was, I'd like, now that Georgia is carry anything, anywhere, openly, closed, it doesn't matter. And we also have stand your ground. I would love to see an NRA board member come down here and we'll go out and we'll both be armed and we'll go out for a couple of drinks or 20 or 30. And if at some point the NRA board member finally had enough and said, Malloy, you son of a bitch, I don't like what you've been saying about us, and made a move for his weapon, I would then be legally obliged to pull out a gun and shoot his ass dead. Now, that is threatening a board member of the NRA. You people are so fucking stupid. You don't have any subtlety. You're like evangelical or fundamentalist Christians or Muslims. Literal translation of everything. You don't get the, oh well, never mind. Anyway, making a statement like this shows he's just as stupid as Glenn Beck. Oh, don't ever say that about me. Call me anything, but not stupid as Glenn Beck. You are a little twit of a man. You do know that if you try your stunt with yelling gun and calling the police and stating there were shots fired, you will be committing a crime. That means jail time, where some more poor mistreated man will bend you over your bunk and have his way with you. But you are probably into that. See what I mean? The reference of anal sex, the reference to genitalia, it just never stops. And people wonder why I call them, not me, but I borrowed it from Bill Maher, amosexuals. These people are so hung up on sexual and excretory functions that, I wonder when they ever take a break and look up at this blue sky or look down at the grass and the forest, No. They have their minds fixated on guns, crotches, and anal openings. What a bunch of freaks. Seth, this is Lil Wolf, L-I-L Wolf. Mr. Malloy, the fact you want innocent open carry folks shot in the head shows how sick you are. The right to carry firearms by law-abiding citizens protects you free speech. I pity you, sir, and I believe you are the real danger to this country. Bite me.
Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the Uncensored fun and frivolity.